All right, so give me an idea in general, just for more of a basic, if you're going to maybe turn it into one room, how long does that take for the project, kind of from start to finish?
You know, it's so custom, but let's just kind of take just one nice big large recreation room at the bottom of the stairs, probably between 3 and 4 weeks. It's
Wow.
very simple. It requires very little electrical, no plumbing, the framing and drywall and paint and trim, and then you're pretty much have a room. So probably 3 weeks to 4 weeks to do something very simple like that.
Now,
that's really encouraging. Oh, go ahead, Julie.
As you get more complicated, the design itself can take sometimes longer than the actual building of the basement. We go through sometimes multiple iterations as the spaces get more complicated, making sure that the homeowners can see exactly how everything's going to fit together. And so sometimes we go through quite a few more weeks of design than we actually do building the space. So the larger basements, they're going to be more involved. They're going to take more like 7 to 8 weeks. And we might spend just as much time designing it before we jump into the actual building of it.
We're going to segue into another section here in a second, but with that idea, it sounds like there is a lot of time that you dig into lifestyle with people and get them thinking long term, because they are going to remodel, what exactly they want to use it for. So tell me a little bit about that when you meet and go through the design process.
Okay. Our approach is really replicates a very standardized design build methodology. So the first appointment, once we've spoken with them on the phone and understand what type of project they want to do, that they've got some idea of how much it's going to cost and how long it'll take, to say, it sounds like the project is very feasible. So once we've reached that feasibility point, we get into the design phase. And as Julie mentioned, it can take 1 or 2 weeks, and it sometimes can take 2 or 3 months. Even on the more elaborate and more expensive spaces, the family may actually choose to put it off for 6 months or a year or more to make sure that the funds are all available once they understand truly what all the costs are involved. So the design part of it is immediately what we kind of jump into to begin designing the space based on a series of questions. We have a pretty long questionnaire that we complete during the first interview meeting to really understand what the family's goal is for the space. So once we understand what the goal is, then we can help apply all the normal design methodologies to just creating a really nice floor plan, and then the iterative process begins to refine those spaces, make this room a few inches smaller, add a second vanity in the bathroom, all the things that we may not catch in the very first pass. So we do allow the design creativity process to take whatever life of its own. Sometimes we'll hit 2 and 3 revisions. Sometimes we're out to 10 or 11 revisions. It's important to get it just right, because once you start, it only takes 8 weeks and it's all done.
Right, and then it's there. I mean, so you're helping them to build something that's long-term, so getting it right instead of, having to remodel the remodel, you want to get it right from the first time so that it lasts for them for a really, really long time. And I want to remind everybody, our next show is actually going to be about financing, so tune in for that, because that's the other piece that goes with this as you're deciding about your design, right, is how much you can afford and where you want to put your funds in. And please go to blueskyremodelingdenver.com, sign up for updates, and then, of course, we've got that nifty little free basement finishing cost estimator. So that'll go in line with our next show, too.